with another loss, this time the Tampa Bay Lightning 5-1, the final score. We'll break all that down on today's episode, as well as take a preview of the second of the back-to-back games. Now the Coyotes and the Coyotes will be facing the Washington Capitals. Again, we're previewing that game today on this post-game show of Locked On Coyotes.
You're Locked On Coyotes, your daily podcast on the Arizona Coyotes, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
All right, welcome to the show, everyone. I'm Robyn Leano. Carl Pavlik right next beside me on this post-game live show of Locked On Coyotes. Once again, as I said just earlier, the Arizona Coyotes take a 5-1 loss to the reigning Stanley Cup champions Tampa Bay Lightning in the first of a back-to-back for the weekend. In the midst of one of the most difficult road trips that they will ever face. Carl, you and I have been talking. This game just wasn't a pretty game. It wasn't a trash fire like it was, like we were saying, like last week against the Edmonton Oilers, but still wasn't a good game for the Desert Dogs.
No, it was not. There was a lot to like about it, but there was a lot that went very wrong. The biggest of which being another horrible 5 minutes. In this case, the first period where the Coyotes let in 3 goals in the span of 5 minutes. Just not a good start to that game.
Yeah, I actually missed the start to the game. I was out walking around my neighborhood, and I kind of just, did a couple extra laps, and I checked the score when I got back, and it said 3-0 already. I'm like, oh, it's going to be one of these games.
Yeah. And they were like, the Coyotes were in the offensive zone. There was a turnover, and then there was a goal. And then they were in the offensive zone. There was a turnover, and then there was a goal. And then the third one was on the power play. So that doesn't fit the narrative. But the Coyotes, unlike against the Panthers, they were getting offensive zone time, but the Tampa Bay Lightning are one of those teams where you make one mistake, they can make you pay.
Yeah, and I think also one of the things that didn't help is, they had offensive pressure, and offensive opportunities, best way to put it. They're not pressure, but offensive opportunities. But still, they provided absolutely no assistance for their goaltender and back. And that was the biggest issue in my side, because if the Coyotes still had like Darcy Kemper, we'd be having a different conversation. But instead, you have Ivan Prosvetov. I think still technically considered a rookie, even because he only played a couple games last year. So you're putting a rookie goaltender against the reigning Stanley Cup champions, and you provide him absolutely no assistance. You're going to lose this game.
Yeah, absolutely. And when he is having to deal with a 2-on-1 with Steve Stamkos and Alex Killorn, that's just that's tough. He got no offensive support. He got hung out to dry on a lot of breakaways. The Coyotes had one goal late in the game, but they need to find a way to connect. There was quite a few situations where the Coyotes came really close, and part of that is is that just bad puck luck? Could that go in next time, or are they just not capitalizing on their opportunities?
Absolutely. I think there's a couple things too I was following through, and trying to see if there's anything I can take. Not very many opportunities off special teams.
No.
And that's a season-long discussion right there. Special teams, power play has been terrible. Penalty kill has been abysmal.
Yeah. They looked okay on a couple penalty kills, but no, they're just letting in so many power play goals. It is gotta be frustrating for the goaltenders, who they're just getting nothing, nowhere. Like no area of the game, the Coyotes did well.
What do you think? Looking on the power play side, and I was reading about certain people had opinions on this, but deciding to pair up Chikrin with Gostisbehere on the at the point for.
I mean, I like it. I don't necessarily think the team has enough offensively gifted forwards where the four forwards, one defenseman works really well for them. So I'm fine with getting the two offensive defensemen on there. I think it could potentially do good. I don't know what the Coyotes need to make their power play work. You know it's going to be bad throughout the year. It's not going to continue to be this bad, but they need to find something.
They do need to find something because they remain winless. They still have yet to win a single game, 0-6-1 on the season, and the schedule is not getting easier right now. They have a couple hard games coming up. I'm just trying to figure out what they can do to at least show some kind of life, turn things around. Whether it's maybe even at least just bring a game into overtime, take an overtime loss or something, get another point. Because they still only, I mean, they're lucky right now to have 1 point.
Yeah. Well, they need to find a way to build off of their energy in game. I think they responded well to Liam O'Brien and Pat Maroon dropping the gloves in the start because they had a pretty solid first 4 minutes, and they just like those kind of small moments they could really make a difference for this team because it also works for the bad moments like that first goal. They let in another goal 2 minutes after that. So they need to find a way to build off good things and stop the bleeding on the small things too.
Yeah. But again, it's when it comes to this team up against hard opponents. And again, like I mentioned in the pregame show, their lowest ranked opponent was 22. The rest of them were top 15, I think top 15, top 16 teams. They're in the upper half. It's in most of them are top 10 teams. Let's even be honest. In Tampa, Florida, St. Louis is up there. Washington, this is not where you want to be.
Yeah, no, there's no way around it. It's gonna be bad. We are seeing the bad. The Coyotes are gonna hopefully get a few lucky breaks and maybe prove something. But these are the games that the team is going to lose because that's just the team that it is this year.
Absolutely. Let's finish off this because obviously I know we probably want to talk a little about talk about the loss as little as possible and look forward to the next game, even though it might not be much better. But let's finish off this conversation with saying, what do the Coyotes do with Ivan Prosvetov? Because if this is a kind of game that's a showing of what they're going to do when Ivan Prosvetov is up there, it's going to, I'm going to tell you this, do super little for his development, and B, it just doesn't look good for the Coyotes or him himself. Just so, it is in both for the team's best interest to not have him up here in Glendale.
I mean, yeah, I do think there's you don't need to send him down right away. I would kind of like to see him maybe play the Anaheim game and then just have Vejmelka start the next couple. This is the situation where we were talking about this before. What do you really do? Do you put Prosvetov against the Tampa Bay Lightning, defending Stanley Cup champions, who haven't had the best start, or do you put him against the Washington Capitals on a game where everyone's going to be a little bit more tired? There was no good answer for this one. I think there's a benefit with keeping him up until Hutton is well in a week or two. Anything longer, send him back down. Make sure that he's just starting for the Roadrunners.
Yeah, he needs to spend. To me, he needs to spend as much time in Tucson as possible. Because we know in Tucson he is the absolute number one guy. He will start the majority of the games in Tucson, Josef Kozhinosh will probably take a couple if there's like a really, really tough back-to-back against tough opponents.
Yeah.
But that's about it. And we like Vejmelka, he's a not like he's I mean, I wouldn't say he's a starter. He is a fringe starter, but is he capable? I think he's capable of holding down the fort for a little bit while while Hutton is gone, and maybe get Kozhinosh some touches. I just really like it's just if the team plays this way consistently with Ivan Prosvetov and net, it's just going to do little for him.
Yeah, no. There's a reason why he started the season in Tucson, because we know that this is going to be what happens. This is going to be the team to a greater or less extent. They'll play better than this. They'll play worse than this. Not yeah. They'll definitely still be able to play worse than this. And you don't want to have Prosvetov, having that team in front of him. Have him have a halfway decent team in front of him while he improves what he does and learns to be a goaltender. But like I said, a week, 2, that's fine. Anything longer than that, you need to figure something else out because he should go down. But I'm fine with him in the very, very, very short term.
Absolutely. But we still got more to get to on this episode. We're going to talk about the upcoming stuff. What are we going to see from the second game of the back-to-backs? The Arizona Coyotes set to face tomorrow or tonight, based off of when you're listening to this, the Washington Capitals. All of that coming up in just a sec. But first, I want to tell you guys about Built Bar, the best tasting protein bar in the land. Did you know that Built Bar has so many delicious flavors? There is something for everyone. When you talk to a Built Bar fan, they are definitely passionate about their favorites. If you don't know all the flavors, you are missing out. They got amazing flavors ranging from mint brownie to salted caramel, cookies and cream, German chocolate, and more. I absolutely love their churro puff flavor. And again, I recently got a chance their paranormal pumpkin flavor as well. Another of their puff bars that are filled with marshmallow. Absolutely delicious. Definitely don't taste like a protein bar to me. It tastes closer to a candy bar. And but the best part is they're healthy too. They are high in protein, low in calories, low in sugar, low in carbs, all the things that you want out of a good protein bar. And I couldn't recommend them more. And if you guys go to built.com and you use the promo code LOCKED15, you get 15% off your order. Once again, use the promo code LOCKED15 for 15% off at built.com. Okay, now let's go ahead and talk, and we'll move on from talking about the Coyotes loss to Tampa. Again, like I said, we want to take talk a little bit of that as possible. We have to address it, obviously, because we're on the post-game live. But let's now discuss the what's next for the Coyotes. They have a second of a back-to-back. They face the Washington Capitals coming up next. And this is going to be an even tougher game, Carl. I mean, yeah, we're going to have probably Vejmelka in a slightly better, but I mean, again, if the Coyotes play the same way that they played against Tampa, it's going to be the same result.
Yeah, pretty much. This is going to be basically another game against a tough team, although everyone's going to be a little bit more tired. So that's never good. This is going to be the first back-to-back that we see for the Coyotes this season. And if nothing else, it'll be interesting to kind of see what moves Bear likes to make with it. The scratches for today were Louis Eriksson and Cam Dineen. Do we switch that up? Maybe take Mayo out? He didn't exactly have the best game. Put Eriksson in. It'll be interesting to see what he does.
Yeah, it will be interesting to see what he does, because we haven't seen these back-to-backs before. I think I'm trying to think there's anything close to a back-to-back that we've had. No, we just had one day off. In a couple of these cases, and that makes a difference. 1 day off makes a difference versus back-to-back. It makes a massive difference. Let's be honest. Now again, they have to face against a top 3 team in the National Hockey League.
Yeah. Is it like I mean, if nothing else, there are some teams who like to have that quick rebound. I can't imagine you want to rebound against the Capitals, but you know, get rid of a 5-1 loss is tough. You don't want to have to dwell on that. Looking on the bright side, maybe the Coyotes will be, able to quickly bounce back. I don't believe what I'm saying.
No, come on. Like we're talking about the Arizona Coyotes, who haven't won a game at this point, going up against Alex Ovechkin, who is hungry to try to stay on pace to try to break Wayne Gretzky's record. Yeah, he's still a couple seasons away from doing that, but look at him. That kid is not slowing down.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's not like the Coyotes have been great defensively or goaltending wise, so he'll probably be looking to add quite a few to that.
Yeah.
Uh, when they put that record in there after he breaks it, they should asterisk the Coyotes this season because I'm sure we'll give him up a lot.
I mean, luckily we don't play them a lot, so he
Yeah,
won't have to do that a lot. But still, it's just not the way you want to go.
yeah. No, it's not. They're like these kind of road trips, especially early on. They can be basically a testing ground for what kind of player you are. How do you respond after you just got your ass kicked and you have to play another great team? And that's really the most important thing. That's the thing that I think the coaching and the front office is going to be looking at, and what the fans are going to be looking for. Like, who goes out there and has a big game? Like, even if the Coyotes lose, who has like a highlight reel play? Who like sticks to it? I think the like kind of O'Brien fight to start off with is him saying like, "Look, this is going to be my role. I'm going to be an energy guy. We need everyone else to do that, to do what they're supposed to do in a situation like this when you know that you're probably going to lose."
Yeah. The way I want to see it for the Coyotes for the game is I just want to see what's the best term I'm trying to explain. Maybe you can read my mind on this. It's just like what I'm trying to be. Yeah, I don't know the word for it. I mean, I guess fight, um,
Resilience,
resilience, some kind of resilience, maybe like
yeah,
because like look, they know. I mean, they know they're complete underdogs in every game they're going to play this year.
yep,
Um, but still, they should like not like they shouldn't have to go into the game, um, like pitying themselves.
sure,
They should go in and actually be like treat every game like it's just like a new day, like like your zeros and like your 0-0, and gotta take the next win and or next opportunity, and play it with as much fight as you can,
yeah,
as much of a strong mentality as you can, because if they keep at this with the base of the way we're saying, like looking at when they kind of like have a bad stretch of games or just stretch of minutes, this is what we're going to keep seeing, and we're not going to see if this is the case. We're not going to see them win anytime soon.
yeah. And this is what coaching is going to be so important for this season. Like, Bear needs to be the type of coach who can keep his players engaged, keep them like trying their hardest, can't let them get mired in the dumps for a loss, because if they start doing that, it's only going to get worse. That's how you get a toxic culture, where just you're expecting to lose everything. You need to be able to go into every game and think, this is going to be it. We're the underdogs. It happens in hockey all the time. The team that probably shouldn't win a game steals one. We're going to steal this one. And they're not going to, but they just need to have that mindset. They cannot give up mentally, especially this early on, because it is going to be a long season.
It's going to be a long season. We're only 7 games in to an 82 game season. And yes, this is a hard road trip. and maybe by the time Anaheim comes, they might somehow have squeaked out some kind of win. Maybe, well, obviously it's only 2 games away or 3 games away, but still, maybe Anaheim is their first win of the year, and then they have Seattle when they come home. We'll see.
Yeah, and I do think that there's been moments where they looked good. They looked like they could compete. It only happened for a couple of minutes at a time. If they could just string all that together, you can make something happen. I think they have definitely had bad luck this to start this. Uh, like a puck bouncing off a leg, that's just bad luck. And I think they're gonna, eventually do for some good luck. Lawson Crouse got his first goal, or was it his first goal? It felt like his first
It
goal.
felt like it. I think he had a goal a couple games ago.
Yeah, I don't know, but like, no, yeah, you're right. It was a second goal, and after all the bad luck he had this season, to have like 7 games in, that's like pretty cool.
It is pretty cool. But we'll keep previewing this game, and we'll let you know what we all think, how the game is going to go down. On the next segment, we're going to talk all about that, make some predictions, and we'll see if there's at least any source of optimism in any case. All that coming up in just a sec. But first, let's take a little quick word from Carl, who's got some special word for us.
Yep, I do. And that's, we're back and better than ever. A new web interface for the start of the basketball season, and more props, odds, and lines than ever before. BetOnline remains your number one spot for all the basketball and football action this season. Head to our new updated desktop or mobile website to sign up today and receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Just use our promo code LOCKEDON to receive your bonus. From basketball, football, baseball, postseason, NHL, boxing, and UFC, right to your favorite Vegas casino games, don't wait to take advantage of all the amazing offers available for the 2021 season. BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to bet all your favorite sports. BetOnline, where the game starts.
Okay, so now it's prediction time. It's time to take a look at the betting trends and how things are going to go. Let's take a look at the betting trends here. I do not see a puck line available at this time, but the Capitals are minus 273 favorites over the Coyotes. Coyotes are plus 242.
That's about right.
And with the total points set at 6.
So, definitely seem like Capitals being the favorites. That's pretty clear.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think about the goals, because we can't exactly count on the Coyotes to get goals, especially with Nick Schmaltz being down. Although Barrett Hayton did get an assist today. He looked pretty good offensively.
That's true.
So, but still, I'm expecting the Capitals to be the more offensive end of that. I think that I would go with the over for goals. I think there's going to be more than 6.
So you're going to take the over.
Yeah.
Let me think about that. I don't know if I'm going to bet on total points because I think it will end right at 6.
Yeah. See, that's a good point. 6 it does seem reasonable. It's what we had today. I just think there's going to be a little bit more offense tomorrow, either from the Coyotes trying to have a little bit of a bounce back, and then still just the Capitals hammering away.
Yeah, either way, I'm gonna assume that the just because of the way a Bet Online has been doing it, they always set the puck line at -1.5 in favor of the favored team. So let's just put it this way: if when the puck line does become available, my pick will be to bet on Washington on the puck line because it's not going to look easy. It's not going to look fun.
No. That's probably a smart money right there. Who do you think Washington starts in net?
Ooh, that is a good question.
Because I was kind of hoping the Lightning would start their backup, although they were looking for their first home win.
I'm gonna say, I think maybe they put in Vanacek. Let's see what their schedule looks like.
Vanacek paid last against Detroit,
and that was a overtime loss to Detroit.
So I could see that being like putting back in there overtime losses. Because that's a tough one.
Because the question is, because here's the question. Obviously, they have a few days off. Does Washington want to put Samsonov or Vanacek against the Lightning when they play on Monday? I think that's the biggest question.
I mean, yeah. Or like, how do they want to handle the rebound from an overtime loss to especially you said Detroit?
Yeah.
Yeah, that can be like throw him back in there and be like, hey, we know you got this, like confidence boost game. So
I think yeah, I think they'll put in Vanacek.
Yeah, which is definitely going to make it harder for the Coyotes to score.
Yeah.
So definitely you have the smart bet right there.
So that's how I say is I think so I say for me, yeah, the betting will only go on one, and that will be to bet the puck line, which isn't available on Bet Online yet, but it probably will be in the next couple hours, or by the time you're listening to this, it already will be available. So if you have yet to bet on that, and you want to bet on it, that is my pick. If you want to make some easy money.
Yeah. And if you want to live dangerously, like your Austin Powers in the start of the movie,
Then
go with my bet for the over. It'd be a real power move.
I mean, that's not even a money maker though, because that's -113 according to Bet Online.
Yeah,
versus
I know.
plus 102 for the under.
Yeah, Austin Powers did not make that bet well. If you remember that movie, he lost, and that's how I gamble, like the satire characters.
I guess we'll have to see. Yeah, but those are our picks for that game. Would you say your final score?
Did I say a final score?
Maybe not. Maybe
no. 5-2, Washington.
You got 5-2 Washington.
Yeah.
I will have the same score as we just saw tonight. It's going to be a 5-1 game.
Ooh. So we both think Washington is just going to light up the Coyotes.
Do you want me to make a bold prediction on this?
Make a bold prediction.
Alex Ovechkin gets a hat trick.
Ooh, that is a bold prediction. That's a very bold prediction. I can't even make a bold prediction about this one. Here, let's do this. Coyotes, both goals come from defensemen.
Both goals for the Coyotes come from defensemen. That's how you pick. Okay. Yeah. I like it. Those are our picks for this game, and that's going to do it for us as we're running out of time. But once again, the next game will be on Friday, so that will either be tomorrow night, based if you're listening to this right now on this live, or tonight if you're listening to this on the podcast form when we publish this the next day. That game starts at the 7 p.m. Eastern, so 4 o'clock again, so the same time as the previous game, and as any game that we're going to see on the East Coast for the next week until, guess what? Daylight savings hits for the rest of the United States and not for us. I'm going to love that because we're now going to be back into Mountain Time Zone. So then time actually makes more sense to us because we're always in Mountain Time Zone, and I always have to explain that to people.
I just say Arizona time. And we live in 2021, so if you don't understand what I mean when I say Arizona time, you can Google it.
Yes, but for those who are unfamiliar, and like I just said, the state of Arizona is one of the only states, I think, if the only state, but that does not participate in daylight savings time,
except for the Navajo Nation.
Except the Navajo Nation, which does take a huge chunk of the state.
Yes.
In the northeastern corner.
Yeah. They do tend to get forgotten when we discuss that. They are part of Arizona, and they do. So most of Arizona, population-wise, does not partake in daylight savings time.
Yeah. The part of Arizona that is not of sovereign land.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's going to do it for today's episode. If you like what you heard, don't forget to leave a review, a like, a comment, and subscribe if you get to already. We are available everywhere you get your podcast, now including YouTube. Don't forget to interact with us on social media as well. We are at LO_Coyotes. I am personally at Robyn_Leano. That is ROBYN_LEANO. Carl Pavlik is at Carl Pavlik FFH. Interact with us, ask us a question, and we might answer them right back or on a future episode of the Locked On Coyotes podcast. Well, once again, that is it for us today. Hope you guys are staying safe out there. Hope you guys are staying healthy. And don't forget to howl on.